Hello and welcome. This video shows you how to register your business with the Commonwealth to comply with 310 CMR 7.71 Greenhouse Gas Emissions Reporting Regulation. We'll give a brief overview of the regulation as it relates to the reporting of heating fuels and walk you through the registration process. Additional videos will provide a more detailed look at the information you will need to report and how to navigate the reporting platform. Let's start with the basics. What are greenhouse gas emissions? Greenhouse gas emissions are gases that trap heat in the atmosphere, such as carbon dioxide, methane, and nitrous oxide. Carbon dioxide is the most abundant greenhouse gas, and what these amendments and reporting requirements are focused on. In November 2024, the Massachusetts Department of Environmental Protection passed amendments to the Greenhouse Gas Emissions Reporting Regulation. These amendments require heating fuel suppliers that deliver heating fuel to homes and businesses in the Commonwealth to register their business and report their greenhouse gas emissions associated with heating fuel they have distributed. Businesses will need to enter the amount of heating fuel they distributed to locations in Massachusetts each quarter into the reporting system and certify the emissions the reporting system calculates. The first thing you will need to do is register your business. Let's take a look at the registration process. To start, identify a designated representative for your business. This person will be legally responsible for registering the business in the Clean Heat and Emissions Tracking System, CHETS, maintaining up-to-date information and submitting quarterly carbon dioxide emissions data reports. The designated representative must be the person who completes your business's registration. The designated representative will need their name and email address, the legal name and address of the heating fuel supplier, the Federal Employer Identification Number or FEIN of the heating fuel supplier, which is the number used in tax and payroll records, and a completed vehicle information form. First, navigate to the Clean Heat and Emissions Tracking System or CHETS. Click Account Registration to create your account. Next, choose Create a Registry Login. Then click the Sign Up Now link near the bottom right corner of the screen. Go ahead and enter the email of the designated representative and select Continue. Next, you will need to enter the verification code sent to the email you listed. Go ahead and press Continue. Time to create your password. Enter your password in the New Password and Confirm New Password fields. Your password must be at least 8 characters in length and include at least 1 lowercase character, 1 uppercase character, 1 number, and 1 special character. It should not be the same as your email address. Be sure to keep a record of your login information, as you will use the same credentials when you sign in to report your emissions data. Next, enter the first and last name of the designated representative in the associated field. Then press Create. Now select the correct country code from the drop-down menu. Enter the designated representative's phone number. If you would like to receive the verification code by phone, select Call Me. Alternatively, select Send Code if you would like to receive the verification code by text message. Once you have the verification code, enter it in the input box and press Verify Code. You will then be directed back to the home page. Click Registration on the top right. If you do not see the registration option, refresh your page to see the Registration and Logout buttons located on the top right of your screen. Once you start this form, you must finish it in one sitting. You cannot save the form and come back to it. If the form times out or you close the window, you will lose any information you entered. Are you ready? On the registration overview page, read the registration steps and then click the Next button. On the Electronic Subscriber Agreement for CHETS screen, read the entire agreement by using the scroll bar or keyboard controls. At the end of the agreement, you must electronically sign and agree to the terms to proceed. As the designated representative, your contact name will appear in the Contact Name field. Please confirm the contact name is accurate and add your company title in the title field. Then check the box to electronically sign the agreement. Select the Heating Energy Supplier checkbox and then press Next. Enter your business's name in the Account Legal Name field. Then enter your business's operating name, also known as a Doing Business As or DBA name in the Account Operating Name field. This may be the same as your business's legal name. If you do business under multiple DBA names, separate the names with a semicolon. For field descriptions, hover your mouse over the information icons. Next, select FEIN/EIN from the drop-down menu under Legal Entity Identifier type. Then enter your legal entity identifier in the space provided. This is the 20-character alphanumeric identification number used in tax and payroll records. Then press Add. You must press the Add button for the system to record it and allow you to continue. There should only be one legal entity identifier per business. If you are representing more than one business, you will need to complete the full registration process for each one. Next, select the account legal entity type from the drop-down menu. This should correspond with your business's registration with the Massachusetts Secretary of State. Now add your business's website to the field provided. Be sure to include HTTP or HTTPS:// at the beginning when typing it out. If the business you listed is the parent company, select Yes. If not, select No. If you have a parent company, that means your business is a subsidiary. The parent company, as referred to here, would be next in the corporate order. If you selected Yes, move on to Address. If you selected No, enter the parent company's legal name and select FEIN/EIN from the drop-down menu under Legal Entity Identifier type. Then enter the parent company's legal entity identifier in the space provided. This is the 20-character alphanumeric identification number used in tax and payroll records. Lastly, select the parent legal entity type from the drop-down menu. Next, start typing in the address of your business in the Search for the Account Address field. Once it pops up, select it from the drop-down menu and the remaining fields will populate. For subsidiaries, this should be the address of the business registering, not the parent. Double-check that the fields are correct before moving on. If you need to change or add information, do so. Then press Next. Suppliers of heating oil or propane must upload a completed copy of the vehicle information form. You can find the link to this form in the description box below. Click the Add File button to upload the spreadsheet. No additional documentation is required, but if you want to provide a corporate registration, federal DOT registration, or any other information about your business, add it using the Add File button. Then click Next. Next, review the pre-populated first and last name for your designated representative. Add their title and primary phone number as well as any secondary number you may have in the fields provided. Then click Submit. Then you will need to read and accept the certification statements. Once you have submitted the form, you will receive an email confirming your response was received. The email is your confirmation that you have successfully completed the registration process and you can prepare for reporting. MassDEP will review the submission, and once it has been reviewed and approved, you will receive an email indicating that your account is approved. Thank you for viewing this training on CHETS. We recommend you watch Part 2, Prepare for Reporting, to learn more about how to collect and document emissions data. If you have any questions about whether this regulation applies to your business or how to register, please don't hesitate to reach out to us for additional support. You can contact our support team by email at dep.chets@mass.gov or give us a call at 617-227-1017.